We got episode 5 of the Big Belly Pats. Your boy Nick, the one and only Nick Brown, and we have the next greatest behind your boy, Mr. Daniel Moxon. Teacher Daniel, how you doing today, good
Oh,
sir?
I'm good. Thank you very much. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for making me the second best.
Hey man, my grandmother told me don't be afraid to toot your own horn, so
Fair
I'm
enough.
tooted.
Fair enough. Yeah, you got it. Self confidence is very important.
My hair looks a mess for those watching on video because my girlfriend was supposed to do my hair. She ain't did it, but we getting
My
there.
hair looks good. I got a haircut and I styled it myself this evening. So yes, making sure I'm looking good for the camera for those watching.
What was the guy's name that did your
Don't-
hair?
I actually don't know.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted you to tell me.
I don't know his name.
Gotcha. How's just do a little catch up, man. How was since we did our last episode? How was this weekend for you? Today's for those listening now. These episodes will be coming out late, but today's Tuesday the 10th. And
Yeah. So
yeah, how's your
it was
weekend, man?
It was good. It was good. It was Arsenal beat Man City 1-0 on Sunday.
That's
Man,
cool. It didn't
what
do
a
anything for my
day.
fantasy, but okay.
Well, I lost. I lost in our keepers league. I lost today. It's going to be confirmed. Don beat me by a point. A few bad judgments. Yeah. Quarterback did badly. He was pulled off injured, and at least I'm not having a losing season so far like Nick.
I am having a
Because I know
losing season. I am. It's not going good.
but
In my
I don't
three,
mind. I don't mind. Arsenal beat Man
in,
City 1-0, and the Springboks
in
are through
three,
to the quarterfinals.
nice. In 3 of my leagues, in fantasy American football, one of them I'm 3-2. The other two I'm 1-3.
So I am 4-1, 4-1, 3-1.
No one cares.
So I've lost my
Anyway,
unbeaten streak. I was almost there.
anyways, so the Springboks are through to the quarterfinals.
Yes, we actually play the hosts France. So that's going to be, and that's a Sunday night game for the rest of the world and a 3 a.m. Monday morning game for China. So yes, I'll be up screaming and shouting and hopefully cheering and not crying at the end.
Where's So who's all in it? It's you all, France. Who else?
So there's 8 teams left. The first quarterfinal is England and Fiji. No, I'll correct myself. It's Wales versus Argentina as the first quarterfinal. Then it's England versus Fiji, Ireland versus New Zealand, and South Africa versus France. So there are some cracking quarterfinals coming up.
Some solid teams coming up.
Yep, it looks good.
That's cool. And that's all you did? Just watch Man City lose and then play some frisbee, I'm assuming.
I watched Arsenal win. Let's rephrase that. Yeah, just actually coming back from a frisbee practice this evening.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I this past weekend I was working. I worked 8:15 a.m. till 7:15 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Wasn't too bad. One day we're gonna have to do an episode of just the stories that I hear from these people, man. When these people call in, it's I had one guy telling me to F off. Scottish accents are by far the worst. If you are Scottish and you're listening to this, it's nothing against you personally, but the Scottish people that I've met and have talked to on the phone, terrible accents, terrible. It sounds like you're talking underwater. But so outside of that, I was late. I was late to work, 45 minutes late. So I had work at 8:15, and I work from home. But I had work at 8:15 in the morning. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, I will give it. I do be late to a lot of stuff. Just Negro hours are just terrible for me. So I do be late to a lot of stuff. I was late to the podcast today. I get it. And 32 years, it's gotten better. but I still be late. And Daniel can attest to this, especially when it comes to working together. When it comes to money, I've never been late. I've never late. Like I've never been late to work.
Yeah.
Anything that's me making money, I'm in there on time. I was late. It was either Saturday, I think it was Sunday, and I was asleep, and my alarms went off. That snooze, man, that snooze is deadly. And I was asleep, good old rest. And then my girl was like, she woke me up. She said, "You late?" And I said, "What?" Grabbed my phone, ran straight to the office, cut everything on. I'm just there booting everything up, mouth dry, eyes got all crust in them, booting everything up. But my boss, shout out to my homie Daniel. Well, his name is actually Dan. His actually is Daniel as well.
Fair
But
enough. Cool.
I told him, I was like, "Man, I'm sorry, man. I woke up late, blah 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 blah." But it was no beef. They were like, people have done it before, and I'm one of the few that has never had an issue. Like I've been able to catch on everything. I'm by far, not to toot my own horn, out of my training class, I am the best. Throwing that out there. So I had a little leeway. So he was like, "It's cool. Don't worry about it. They might ask you to make up the 45 minutes on another day." But he's like, they'll give you heads up on it. So it's not a big deal. So I was like, cool. So
Nice, huh?
I was late. So now I'm setting 6 alarms when I wake up. Because I'm going to get up. I can't be messing with my money. So I did that. And I was late today because I've been on Amazon. It's been Prime Day. So I've been looking for some board games and a wireless
So
keyboard.
hold up. You were late today because you were shopping.
Not just shopping. I was tidying up around the house too, but a part of it was shopping. Hey man, hey. I'm a man on a mission, man. I get anyways, don't worry about it. So I was late.
I think besides doing an episode of the stories we hear on AA, we're gonna do an episode of every time you've been late.
No, because it's
And
not
how,
enough.
and
It's
how
not, it's
you
not,
deal.
it's not enough hours.
It's not enough time.
We'll run out of
We
recording
need
space.
to do a series. We need a series on how Nick is late.
I'm never like terribly late. I just be late.
Yeah. Well, I got a story, but that's for another time. When you were terribly late. Well, not so late.
But and before we get into it, man, I gotta share. You saw it on my Instagram post.
Yes, this is gonna be
I
good.
need
This has to be
before we even get into what we're talking about today. Today's gonna be a bit nerdy, but anyways, we went to Chester, and it was my girlfriend's her mom's birthday. Forgot her age. Shout out to Miss JJ. But with her, it was her birthday, so we went to Escape Room in Chester, England, which I was already excited. Well, I wasn't excited to. I was excited to go, but when I got there, I was excited being there because where I am and compared to Chester, there's a bigger splash of color in the city.
nice.
You know, people that
Nice.
look like all shades,
Yeah. All shades.
all shades. Where I'm at, it's one shade. It's like where I live. You take like a
Chester
big,
was more like rainbow colors. Yeah.
Where I'm at,
Okay.
if you take like some nice A4 paper and sprinkle some pepper on it, that's where I'm at. But yeah, it was a nice multicultural. I was like, okay. And we went to the escape room. We escaped. Super cool. We're just walking around. We go to like some bars, get some food, walk along the river, get some drinks, coffee, whatever. And we're leaving. We're about to head out. We're leaving this place called the Boathouse. And so as we're leaving, at the entrance of the door is the bathrooms, like the women's bathroom. So my girl and her sister, they go into the bathroom. And I'm coming out, and my girl's mom and her sister's boyfriend are outside, like right outside the door. So I'm walking out. There's this elderly couple in front of me. It's like a guy and a woman, 60, at least 60, 60, 65. So I'm walking up behind him. She's about to go into the bathroom. He's helping her with something, so he sees me and he says, "Oh, coming behind you." Like he's telling his wife, like, "Oh, somebody's coming behind you." Puts his hand on her back. Oh, coming behind you, so she could move because I was walking up. So I kind of step over. I step around her. She looks at me and says, "Oh, you can come on my back anytime." I was like, "Oh, oh," and then immediately goes into the bathroom. So my girl's mom and her sister's boyfriend, Wayne, they hear this cracking up laughing.
Oh,
And then
snap.
my girl and her sister come out and they're like, "What's so funny?" And I was just like, "Yeah, this 60-year-old lady just told me I can come on her back anytime." And they were like, "Who?" And I was like, she just went into the bathroom. And they was like, "The old lady that they just let in the bathroom." I was like, "Yeah." So yeah, she told me I can come on her back anytime. So
Nice.
nice little,
That's
nice
a
little, nice little sugar
little bit
mama.
of motivation
There you
and a
go.
nice and just a nice compliment. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. I felt. I was like, okay, all right. I was
Dust
still.
yourself off
I was
and
a
be like,
little.
yeah,
I was a
yeah,
little. I ain't gonna do it, but
you ready?
the opportunity's there.
Yeah. You ready? You feel appreciated. You feel
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of TLC and it's great.
So it was cool, man. I was like, yo, that's wild. Cause she just said it, walked immediately to the bathroom. Her husband like looked at me, gave me like this weird smile, smirk. I don't think he was happy about it, and like walked off. But it happened so fast. I was like, yo, that's wild. So I'll be getting a lot of messages about it too today. Funny
I
enough.
could imagine you posted it and I was just like, wait, what? Hold up. What are we talking about here? This is it. This is news.
Yeah, I woke up to a fair few messages about it. So yeah, man. So that's been the weekend so far. Today's Tuesday. I got work tomorrow morning. Not looking forward to it. So, but anyways, Loki. So
Yes.
Daniel, for everyone's listening, Daniel has watched and paused and done timestamps and made notes. It was
Sort of.
he was studying
In front of me, I've got written notes on because as you guys said, as you've heard in a couple of episodes, I'm terrible with names and like sequence of events and everything like that. I get muddled. I just watch it because it's pure entertainment. But this time I was like, oh, we're going to talk about episode 1. I've got to write down some notes. I've got to, even my notes are all jumbled up. So I'm going to find things and then just, see where it goes.
Yeah, I was like, you told me notes. I was like, I watched it, but he was studying. So,
Yeah. I just got to make sure I don't sound stupid. That's all.
if I don't know their name, if you just describe what they look like, oh, the white guy with the suit. Oh, okay, got you. Mobius, got it.
Yeah.
So if I don't know the names, then that's pretty much my go-to. I am pumped that, side note before we get into it, that like Loki came out because I think I said in the earlier episode, I've been hooked on this game called Marvel Snap on my phone. I don't really play. Usually when I play games on my phone, I get into it for about a week and then I don't play it and then I delete it. I rarely just heavily play games on my phone. But this game has been like a Hearthstone kind of game, but it's like cool Marvel characters you haven't heard about and stuff. And it was weird because before the premiere came out, it was all these like Loki, Ravonna Renslayer, whatever her name is, and Mobius that you can collect. So, and I was like, cool. And I collected me a Loki.
Nice.
Yeah, man. It's a bit nerdy. I don't care. Can't nobody with me. But yeah.
This is where we are. We are. We the nerdy athletes.
So, anyways, with Loki, man, episode 1, I want you to get into it, but I just want to say I'm pumped that episode 1 started with shit hitting the fan.
That's it. That is exactly that's it. Because it just where we left off, it was just like, hold up, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And then, boom,
we straight in.
You got straight in. You got time slipping, and it's just like, what is cracking? And like it's just pumped. It's just filled with action. That's all it is. Like you just hit the ground running. Obviously, it's a season 2, so if you can't remember season 1, make sure you go back and watch it, or watch a few clips about season 1 just to get yourself like cleared up of what actually happened.
Yeah, I usually just get on YouTube and just type in like Loki season 1 recap. Watch like a quick 5-10 minute video. And you're good.
Yeah. Do that, and then when you hit that season 2, you are in the races. You just exit the races, and you are going down the track. And so for me, I think the most touching point and the funniest point at the same time was when Loki kept time slipping, and they were like in that hallway,
No, they were.
and he's like, Morbius,
Yeah.
Morbius, and he was like, I don't know you, and like Loki's face is just like, no, what's happening to me?
For me, it was when they were in the elevator, and he kept slipping in the elevator. Because at first he asked him, he said, "Does it look bad?" He was like, "No, it doesn't look bad."
No,
And
it
then
doesn't look bad.
he did it again in the elevator, and he came back. He's like, "Okay, look, it looks terrible." He was like, I don't. He said, "It looks like you've been born, or you're dying, or both at the same time, but it's really freaking me out."
And the random actors listening, then the ladies just going, "What's going on?" He's just being torn apart.
He was like, "You got to stop." He's like, "You're freaking me out." He's like, "I thought you said it doesn't look bad." Yeah, I lied. It looks terrible.
It looks terrible. I was trying to make you feel bad. Trying to make you feel good.
So yeah, man, I do like that they have what's his name? He was the dude from Goonies. That he was in everything all together at once at the same time.
Yes, he is the Wait,
He's,
I've got his name somewhere.
Ouroboros.
Yes, Ouroboros. That's it. That is it. I have it here.
Side note: Do
And
you
I
know what
think it was-
Ouroboros is?
I actually don't.
It's
Besides, he's this-
it's the snake. If you ever seen like an old, maybe like medieval pictures or paintings and stuff, it's the snake. It's like a circle, and it's the snake that's eating its own tail.
okay.
That's Ouroboros.
All right.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was also one of my favorite parts of the episode was that past and present interaction of Loki in the past and Morbius in the present, and how they were time slipping, and like he's like, oh wait, I remember I've got this thing around here somewhere, because they were just introducing it in the past. So that was also really, really cool how they do that interaction and taking that little bit of time to explain what is actually going on when you're watching it.
Right. So yeah, that when he was like, "No, I never done it before." Oh wait, I have seen this before. He just picked up the whole extractor.
Like, yeah, here it is. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah. No, I thought it was funny.
But like, I think
when he said, when they were like, "Is it bad?" He was like, "Yes." He was like, "Is it going to kill us all?" "Yes." "Well, can you fix it?" "No."
Straight up, just be like, "This is what's happening. All right, it's dangerous. We know it.
What?
I'm not going to sugarcoat it."
When he said, he told him before he had to go outside in that little thing, he was like, "All right, you got 2 hours." Something blew up. "You got 5 minutes."
Two extremes. Two extremes.
So yeah,
I thought it was really cool. It was a good episode. I think the big thing, and I don't is her name Sylvia, the other Loki.
Yeah.
They call her Sylvia or Cynthia.
Yeah, the Loki variant. Her name is Sylvie.
Yeah.
In the comics, she also goes by Enchantress.
Okay, Enchantress.
Yeah.
And I think she, with killing Kong the Conqueror, that version of Kong the Conqueror in the end of season 1. Now you see that there is. I think that Kong the Conqueror was kind of my small theory was kind of the Kong the Conqueror that trying to kept everything in play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he tried to keep his variants brothers from destroying everything and running things riot, and that's why you have those robotic judges or those robotic high priests or whatever they call them that were in charge of everything.
Yeah.
And then when Loki smashes the wall and the Kong the Conqueror's faces appear.
Yeah.
And I think it was like, or a cover-up saying that these variants don't exist because they're the ones that will cause most of the damage.
Right. Yeah, those. And if you go into a bit of the lore, it's because Kong he's a conqueror. That's what he wants to do. It's when you see, what was it? It wasn't the end of Loki where you saw them all in that arena and they were like, oh, What was that?
I think that was the end
It
of
was,
Ant-Man.
there you go. Yeah, 'cause that's when they met him, and it's all of them coming together from different timelines. Like we're finna take over all of this. So
Yeah.
yeah, Kong Man is gonna be wild. Kong is gonna be wild. I do love Jonathan Majors acting as him. I think that's gonna be
Yeah,
great.
that's
Uh,
yeah.
so
It's vital to keep that.
mhm.
It's vital to do that. And I think that the Kong that we met at Ant-Man was very different to the Kong that was killed at the end of season 1.
Yeah,
And I think I don't know if there was a rivalry between those two Kongs, but there must have been a reason why that Kong ended up in the other dimension
yeah,
where Ant-Man eventually got to him. So I think there was a big rivalry between those two. Obviously, my comic book knowledge is a lot less than my Universal knowledge, but or Marvel Cinematic Universe, should I say? But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a great kickoff, and it's got you captured.
yeah,
You're like, I'm in.
yeah.
You're in your seat. You're strapped in, and you're going. It's not trying to build a whole different backstory, introduce 5 different characters.
Hmm.
It's straight into the action. You're in the driver's seat, and you're going.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool, man. It's gonna be. I can't wait because they showed some clips when Loki goes to the McDonald's to see Sylvie working. It's like a clip. It's like a
Ah, yes, yes,
she's
yes. At the
working.
end of at the end of episode
It was
1, there's a
it was a
backtrack.
post credit.
Oh, there's an end scene, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, 1882, 1982,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that
1982 in Oklahoma.
yeah, but if you do some so that town is called Brixton or Brockton, Oklahoma, and that town has I don't think it's a real town, but it has a lot of lore when it comes to Marvel because that's also the town where Thor built at some point he went somewhere and built like his own Asgard and it was next to that same town like Brockton or Brixton. It's a few other things too, but and it
Oh,
might not just be like it might not be a continue what do you call it? Continuity? There you go, continuity thing.
continuous.
No, like continuity, like something from this is still equal to this, like in the
Oh,
shows.
something continues on. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I don't think it's that. I think it's just Marvel's namesake town that they use for everything. But I think it's going to be cool, man. Going back to the '80s McDonald's because she never. Which do you know her backstory, like why she's the way she
I
is?
don't. I don't know.
So she's a Loki, obviously,
Yeah.
and when she was a child, it's the reason why she's batshit crazy, but it makes it because if you think about it, most villains are the bad guys when they're crazy. If you actually look at their story, you're like, that makes sense why you're crazy.
There's a
You
reason.
got
Yeah,
screwed
yeah,
over
yeah. We
somehow.
know.
And when she was a child, playing with her father, I don't remember what exactly, but when she was a child, the TVA came and arrested her because she was committing crimes in the future. So so the
Oh,
TVA
okay.
popped up and was like, "We're arresting this like 5-year-old. We're taking you with us for crimes against humanity 200 years down the road or whatever." When they
Damn.
took her, they like put her in prison in the TVA. She was locked up in the TVA at like 5 or 6, which they don't think.
All right. I'd also be.
Yeah. So now that's like, it's probably why she's committing crimes because you did this when she was a kid. So when she like eventually got out, so she's hopping through different timelines, running away from the TVA. So with her,
Yeah, she's also.
huh?
No, Kara. Kara.
So with her in Oklahoma, I think it's one of those like when she was like, I want to try everything. I think it's that she's missed out on so much. She's like, I need to live this normal life that I've been dying to live that the TVA won't let me live or wouldn't let me live.
Yes. I got that. I got that feeling. I was like, this is not something
Yeah.
like a dead rat or anything
Yeah.
like that. So I felt like she had missed so much. She was like, I don't know what this is.
But I'm
So
trying
it
all
does
of
make
it.
sense that you've explained that. And
Yeah.
but yeah, that was breathtaking from the moment it started to the moment it ended. And I can't wait for the next episode this week.
Yeah.
It should be definitely a cracker.
It's gonna be cool when they dip into when Mobius realized how many times his memory has been wiped.
Oh snap! Okay, so I don't know
Because
that.
you remember when they went down to go see Ouroboros, and he was like,
Oh
he was
yes, and he's
like,
like, oh, it's been like 400
he was
years.
like, it has, hasn't it? But he was like, and Loki's looking at him, was like, it's been 400 years, huh? Because Mobius doesn't remember
400
any
years,
of
yeah.
it. He was like, your memory's been wiped
Damn,
so many times, you don't even have memory of your memory being wiped.
damn,
So that's why he was like,
poor bloke.
and he was like, yeah, I bet you get a lot of visitors. He was like, nope, you're the only person who's been down here. You remember you called me OB. He was like, oh yeah,
I remember. Yes, I remember that. Yeah,
yeah. So he did.
I know his memory's been wiped, but I don't know how many times.
I'm assuming it's been a fair few times. If the last time we seen this guy was 400 years ago, like,
That's a
and the,
that's a few times.
and that's when they were in the little, what's the girl's name, Ravana Renslayer, when they were in that little
Yeah.
triangle room, and she was telling all of them, she was like, we all had a life before this, but Kong pretty much kidnapped us, put us here, wiped all our memories. All we remember is this building. But she was like,
Yeah.
we,
I remember that.
yeah.
Yes, I remember
She
that.
was like, we everyone in here had a life. You probably had a wife or a husband or a father, a kid, whatever. So that's what I think kind of like tipping everybody like, all right, this dude is out here doing damage. But I don't know how they're going to get into it because if you remember the last of episode 1, it was Mobius and Loki went to go see Kong, and it was like the 1920s. It was like a 1920s
Oh
scene.
yes, like a show,
Yeah,
like he was doing a magician show.
yeah,
Yeah, of season 1 at the end there.
yeah. So,
We saw that scene.
so we'll see if they can hop back into it. So,
Yeah,
I
it will be interesting to see how they develop this story.
yeah. So looking forward towards Loki season 2. I wanted to ask you about another show. Did you ever watch The Boys?
Yep, I watched The Boys. They have a new
Called
spin-off
Gen V.
called V Gen V. That's
Have you
it.
watched it?
I have not watched it yet. I have not. It's there. It's standing there on the playlist.
It's.
I haven't found the time
I
yet.
will say it does touch more on like stuff of today because they're like teenagers and they're in college, so you get a lot of
Yeah.
the I don't know the tropes of today when it comes to like self harm and all this stuff. But a lot of their powers come from self harm.
Okay.
And I just finished episode 4. It's only 4 episodes out. It gets wild, man.
Okay.
First episode, I'm like, the first episode
So it goes
is
straight
already like, oh, so this is where we starting at. We starting here.
Is it just like straight like The Boys? Eh?
It's
like just very abrasive.
it's not as abrasive, but it is. It's bloody. There's big things, small things, stuff blowing up, people dying, people doing the nasty, weirdly. It's very. I would say it is The Boys. It's very The Boys.
It's The
It's
Boys.
just the college version of The Boys.
Okay.
But it's
all right.
yeah, but it's none of the people from the regular season. I think there's like some little cameos from the Deep, Queen Maeve, and A Train, but there's no like there's not like a big connection.
That's definitely on the
Watch
list.
Gen V is good, man.
Definitely on
It's
the-
good. So yeah.
That's fair.
I wanted to ask you about. So I was talking about this Amazon Prime Day, like today and tomorrow,
Is that like 11/11 on Taobao?
basically.
Okay,
basically.
so it's a big sale.
Yeah.
So if everyone doesn't know this, yeah, it's a big sale.
people- if
and you get
it's-
they draw you in to spend your
If
money.
you know, if people, if they don't know 11/11, I'm pretty sure you know an Amazon Prime sale. Everyone knows Black Friday.
Yeah.
Black Friday, the day you get all the deals, blah 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 blah. It's the same thing. Every website of something has a deal day. So this is one of. I think Amazon has several. I'm just now getting back hip to Amazon after not using it for 4 years, whatever. But it's been a sales going on. Of course, I got some little knickknacks I got that I'm working on for the people who can see us now. Hopefully, within about a week or two, I'm trying to have this wall look like it should be, and not just a blank slate with some boxes and
Same,
stuff.
yeah. It's just a
So I
weird.
am working on it.
Working on it. We're
We're
working
working
on it.
on
We're
it.
working on it, guys. Just bear with
We're
us.
working on it.
If you want to sponsor us, great.
Please,
Yeah,
please.
sponsor
These
us.
things cost money. We're not rolling in it.
Yeah. We don't have the lifestyle of these set up, made up
No,
podcasts
no, no.
yet. All right, we don't have all these sponsors like bowing down to us. So
Right.
if you're willing to sponsor something, I'll put a sticker on the
Yeah.
wall here
Yeah.
and be like,
Thanks.
thanks.
We'll put your name up there or something.
Yeah,
But
we're like mention you.
and so I'm looking for board games, man. I seeing you and Don, and not even just seeing you and Don, but just me missing playing board games has been eating at me. Luckily, when I went back home with my cousin and some friends, we played a lot of board games. Now that I'm here, it's kind of, I'm very iffy on who I play board games with, so I've been looking up two-player board
Yeah.
games, and I found some gems, man. I got my girl hooked on. We've been playing a lot of dominoes and Dobble lately, but I'm trying to find like a nice chill board game, like a nice little mystery thing, because I want to keep her. You know, if I'm gonna introduce these things to her, I'm not trying to like throw her straight into the deep end. Like, all right, we playing Gloomhaven. Like, she would just lose interest, which I
Yeah.
wouldn't blame her.
Yeah, you want to start us slow.
Yeah. So I've been looking up some board games, man. So I just wanted to ask, man, how is this Frosthaven going?
So Frosthaven's is going really cool. I'm going back tomorrow evening with Don. I'm just going to double check that we are meeting. But yeah, it's going to be like a once a week campaign. But for me, Frosthaven, well, playing with Don is really entertaining and actually helpful because he takes time to explain things, but he doesn't explain it like to depth, but he lets you play and lets you find the way that you're supposed to play. But what's so cool about Frosthaven and what we've done so far is we've just been going campaign by campaign, story by
Mm-hmm.
story, and ticking the boxes. And what's really great about Frosthaven, you're not trying to beat the person next to you. You're trying to play with the person
Right.
next to you. So it's that campaign cooperative type of board game, which is really, really fun. You're not trying to outsmart the character next to you. You're trying to outsmart the board game, which is really cool. And Frosthaven it takes time, but it's well organized. And yeah, you've just got to get stuck in. Pick a character, build the character's experience up, whatever you need. And then what's cool is if you defeat certain bosses or certain big characters, you get that character. You get to choose that character and then eventually play
Yeah,
as that
you
character.
unlock characters.
You take upon it. So we beat we beat a Snow Queen and we got the character Snow Queen. So when your character is finished and you retired because you've accomplished certain goals, you can buy them a house and boom, they settle at Frosthaven and you can play with another character. And I think that's really cool because it's got like over, I think Don said like 130 scenarios, but every scenario has two parts to it. So you pick one and it ends up being like 70 or 80 stories you've played, which is pretty
Right.
cool. I enjoy it, and it's not hard to follow. Once you've played with the character 3-4 times and you've stuck to it, and you understand the card concepts and how you lose points or gain points, it's not bad. I mean, like I said, guys, if I get it, anyone should be able to get
I
it.
want to play Gloomhaven so bad for console because it came out for PS5 and like Switch. But I was looking at the reviews and just it's the same as if you play on Steam, but I got a MacBook and it's not really made for heavy games like that, so I can play it on here, but my laptop gets hot.
You don't have like an alien laptop that can take up that heat. And everything.
But I've seen it on like the PlayStation Store and stuff, and it looks cool. It's just the graphics ain't there. And I need to hit up Don, man, because I don't want to play solo. Like, I don't mind playing solo because I can control 2, 3, 4 characters. That's fine. But it's still like you said, it's a co-op game, so you kind of want to co-op with someone.
Yeah, play.
So, yeah, man, when you sent me those pictures of you about to play with Don, I was a bit. I don't think I replied to you. I was a bit jealous. I was like, oh, this is bullshit. But
Speaking of the Switch, there, I am planning. I'm trying to, my birthday's coming up
Mm-hmm.
soon. It's around the bend, and I want to get a
Okay.
Switch. I don't want to get a PlayStation 5. I don't want to get a PlayStation 5 because I don't want to get
All
FIFA.
right.
That's it. That's the only reason why I don't want to get PlayStation, because all I want to do is get
Mm-hmm.
FIFA and then I'm going to sit here and play
Mm-hmm.
online. No. I want to get a Switch and I want to get like 3 games. One of them has to be a Pokemon game,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, and then like 2 other games. If you had to recommend which Pokemon game to get and 2 other games to get for Nintendo Switch, what would be your top 3 games?
Right now, and this is because I haven't played the second one yet. I'm working on getting it. Which I need to make a mental note of because I found this app, dude, with these deals. It is wild. Lost my pen. I'll get it later. But right now, you need to play the Zelda game. What's what's it
Zelda?
called? Link. You know what I'm. It's a Switch game. It's the
I know.
but it's not the latest one.
Yeah, most people play. I know. I hear most of my kids speaking about
Yeah,
Zelda.
so it's I forgot the not the latest one, the one before that one. Um, I had it, amazing game. I played most of it on TV, but when I was still traveling around and whatnot, that game was amazing. I forgot the exact name. We can get it after this, but that I think is
Hmm.
great. I feel like a Mario Kart is a staple. It's great to play by yourself. It's even better to play with people because you can make your own
Yeah.
little games, or if you lose, take a drink or whatever. Me and my friends, we used to play way back before I went to China. We used to play drunk Mario Kart, and what we would do is
Hmm.
you'd get like a little beer, a can, and everyone has a controller, and you have to finish your beer before you finish the race on the game. However, we don't condone drunk driving, or we don't condone drinking and driving. So when you're drinking, you have to put your controller down. So it'd be like, say it's just me and you. We got this beer, that's fine. But like you can't like hold your controller and drink. You gotta put your controller down. Drink as much as you want. If you want to neck the whole thing, you can. Drink as much as you want, and then you have to put that
Okay.
down and pick your controller back up. So that was a cool little
That's quite
it it
interesting.
it,
There
it
we go, guys. You got a game idea with
yeah.
your mates.
It does get a little bit your heart gets beaten a bit, like, oh, we yeah. Because some people were like,
My strategy is, as you said this, my strategy is at the start, chop that controller, down that beer,
go.
and go.
Some people would
down the
Some
beer
people
and
try to
go.
get like a big lead and then like pull over at the finish line, down the beer, and try to go through.
Trying to
Yeah.
crawl over this.
But
Like, just stop and then drinking it
right.
over. Funny.
As far as Pokemon, man, I right now I'm still playing Brilliant Diamond, which is still kind of like an upgraded version of like the Game Boy Advance games on steroids. I would say a good one for me. I would say Arceus. Arceus
Arceus.
because from what I could tell, at least for me, it's one of the best, if not the first, truly open world Pokemon game. And I
Okay.
had a lot of fun on it, man. Just it's none of that, you could just walk through the grass and something pops up. But like on this, you see them in the I'll hit the mic. You see them in the grass, so you can see
Okay, cool.
them.
I think I saw you playing
Yeah,
this
you can see
once.
them flying. You can see them in the water. So obviously you can see. I don't want to go over there. Whatever the case is. So Argus is cool. Plus it's set in like ancient, like samurai times. I don't know what the exact terminology for it is, but that era. So that's a good one.
Okay.
The other one is I have Scarlet, but I haven't played it yet. But it's like pretty much
Okay.
Arceus. It's open world, but you can like ride on some Pokemon from what I've seen. But I haven't really got into it yet. But yeah, so if I had to
Okay.
choose right now, the Pokemon Arceus, um, Mario Kart, just because I feel like it's a staple. If you don't, people go to like Smash Bros. Whatever. I feel like if you have a Nintendo game and you don't have at least one Mario game, Mario themed anything, why do you have a Nintendo Switch? Like, why are you with Nintendo? I feel like you have to
Yeah.
have a Mario game. That and the that Link, Zelda, I forgot the name, but yeah,
No worries. We can get there.
I recommend it, man. So,
Cool.
um, going off of that though, man. Since we were talking about Loki and Marvel, and we got into some games and stuff, superheroes wise, who is Daniel's? I got one better for you. Don't give me your favorite superhero. I want you to give me your top.
Oh,
Hmm. For the sake of time, let's say top three.
top three
Top to you.
superheroes
Top three
to
superheroes
me.
to you, and why?
Sure. Okay, so pretty simply put, number one on the list is Spider Man. Just I've always been a Spider
Mm-hmm.
Man fan. Growing
Mm-hmm.
up, it's been Spider Man. Great response. Great power comes great
Mm-hmm.
responsibility. And just because he's like as as I've always watched the Spider Man cartoons and stuff like that, and then finally getting to see how he engaged with the Avengers in the cinematic universe, just in the other ways and stuff like that, how he's dealt with it, all the movies coming out, he's just the ordinary type of superhero.
Right.
You know, he's not a god. He doesn't have flying ability. He doesn't have crazy money. He's just that
Mm-hmm.
kid that's just
Mm-hmm.
got there. You know, he was bitten by a spider, wrong place, wrong time. And obviously, like now that the Miles Morales Spider Man's come out, that's even
Right.
crazier. I mean, those are just some amazing animation movies that have come out. So Spider Man number one, simply put. Sure. Number two, just because I want the power, is Thor.
Okay.
I don't know, just Thor. He's got that power, you know. He's got that power.
He's like a drunk though,
Um,
right?
he's yeah, I get that. But be
Yeah.
pre
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
like when you watch the original Thors, and he's just like a
Yeah.
badass man. He's just like I'm just destroying stuff
Yeah.
because I can, and then it has to be Wanda Maximoff.
Now does that
Um,
okay with Wanda though? Has that like always been a favorite of yours, or is that she just hopped to the top three because the Wanda Vision?
she's progressed. She's progressed into it. I think because of how they've portrayed her and everything like that. And I've just enjoyed watching this character develop and how they've built. I think the last movie with Doctor Strange and the multiverse madness or the madness of the multiverse, I think that kind of like hurt her profile a little bit and hurt the Marvel cinematic
Mm-hmm.
profile a bit. But just as the character, my favorite part, you know, a lot of that endgame film where like Captain America grabs the hammer and everyone's like, you know, like Avengers Assemble type thing. I mean, that was like momentous and like wow. But that moment where Wanda's one on one with Thanos and like she is just pounding the guy and he has to call Rain
Mm-hmm.
of Fire. That for me was like one powerful,
Mm-hmm.
powerful scene, and that for me was like boom. She's one
Uh,
of my favorites. That's when I said she's like
yeah.
the best, one of the
Oh,
strongest Avengers, and
easily.
for sure.
D-
So yeah, top three: Spider Man, Thor,
Do you, are
Wanda,
all
for
of
sure.
do you have any of them outside of Marvel? Are they all Marvel?
Um, if you're going to like different styles, I would have to say, oh, this is going to sound so cheesy and so old school, but damn, the Red Power Ranger is not a
Okay.
superhero, but Jason, the Red Power Ranger, the original Mighty Morphin Red Power Ranger with the Tyrannosaurus
Yeah.
Rex. Oh man, Mighty Morphin,
Do,
the old school. That was just it. I can still
do
watch
you have
that.
any DC ones?
DC, I don't. I never grew up with that. You know, there was the Batman and the Superman and all that stuff when you're growing up, but I wasn't really when at that time where that was growing
Mm-hmm.
quite a bit. I I was more of the Power Ranger style, more you know, watching the original Dragon Ball Z stuff like that. So for me, it was like Red Power Rangers, Pokemon, well, the Power Rangers, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, and a little bit of Spider Man at the
Okay.
time. So that was my childhood. So Batman, Superman, I wasn't like, oh my goodness gracious me, these are the best. No. So for DC, it's I can appreciate it. Like obviously, there's certain aspects about it, but yeah, from those top three, if I'm going collectively top all superheroes, it would definitely Jason's there. The Red Power Ranger is there. He's number two behind Spider Man. Spider Man and the Red Power Ranger were my homies growing up. you know,
Okay.
because I didn't have many friends. I was that weird kid that spoke to imaginary people.
Oh,
So it was definitely Peter Parker and Jason that I spoke to a
okay.
lot. They were like my psychologists when I was a kid.
All right. All right.
And you, top three?
So I'm more of a I have respect for a lot. Like going off of like Wanda Maximoff. Badass. Don't think nobody's really touching her. Like she's cool and she's chill, but if you hit that nerve, like you might your generation might stop right here. You know, your last namesake, your family line just ended because you talk too much.
Your family nine might
Yeah,
not even exist.
uh,
It might not even have
yeah.
existed. She can delete you.
So but I'm more of like an anti-hero kind of guy. I'm one of those. I feel like I like going off topic. I hate Batman. Hate Batman.
Okay.
Because you could save this city if you just kill Joker. But that whole I don't want to kill him and I'm gonna put him in prison. The same one he escapes every week. I'm just like, bro, if you don't just murk this man, but he won't do that. But he'll murk all his minions. I hate Batman. Batman is just Batman is just a billionaire that can run around and just beat up people. I seen a meme that was like, why does Batman have his mouth, his mask, you still see his mouth and his eyes. And people were like, why won't he cover up his whole face? And they said, it's so the police know that he's white. Yeah. So
Snap.
but my top superheroes, man. So one of them. So I grew up on X-Men. My dad is a diehard Juggernaut fan, Colossus, and as far as Marvel, he loves the Hulk and also an X-Men Wolverine. He was that diehard X-Men guy. That was his jam. I have always liked. If you know who Gambit is, do you know who Gambit is? So
The
he
poker player
throws the
type
cards and
person.
he has a staff.
He throws the
Yeah,
card.
so that like the cards are full of energy. He can
Okay.
throw them and blow up stuff, and he has like a staff that he whoops up people. I've always thought he was just dope. Gambit was my guy. Deadpool is my guy. I love Deadpool. It's like I said, I don't know if he's classified as a hero, more like an anti-hero. Like whoever's paying the right price, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I like that I like that if you were say you were Spider-Man and I'm dead or Deadpool was next to you, and say you caught the bad or you're trying to talk to the bad guy, you're trying to talk the bad guy down. It's what Spider-Man do, try to talk him down. Deadpool would just walk up, Tow! Okay, we're done with that. Are you mad at me? Yeah,
So,
yeah,
why are we negotiating?
like you're mad at me.
No
Okay,
point.
move on.
I've seen this happen.
You're gonna let him go.
Yeah.
You're gonna kill another 100 people. Then you're gonna talk to him again. Deadpool's like, nah, we done with this. So
Just get up.
Deadpool is my guy. Gambit is my guy. A third one, I would say Spider-Man, and especially Miles Morales. Spider-Man to me, Spider-Man's just smooth, man. Like even as a kid, like his whole fits be smooth. Like he's just like I feel like Spider-Man is as close to a human being without the superpower mentalities as you can get.
Yeah.
Like you said, wrong place, wrong time, got bit. And Spider Man is the only superhero video game that I've ever purchased and completed. I've
Same.
never
Snap.
all the other like
I do.
superhero
Yeah.
games. There's like Avengers games. Even though a lot of people used to play the Gotham City
Yeah.
games, which looked cool. Never played them. Never bought them. Never played them. Spider Man, when the new one comes out, I'm in there. I beat Miles Morales. I beat
Yeah.
the other Spider Man. He's just cool, man. He's just cool. You really can't.
Yeah, I like it.
But and then you were saying the Red Power Ranger was yours, bro. I used to have. I used to be a big fan. Looking back, they were like the knockoff Power Rangers for sure, but they were called Beetleborgs. I had the toys. I had I had
remember them.
they were like big bad Beetleborgs. No, that was dude. I think I got I was gonna share my screen, but I don't want to mess it up. But Yeah, man, Beetleborgs. If people who's listening, Beetleborgs. I went back and I looked up. I went like try to watch the episode. Cringe, cheesy, low
Oh yeah,
budget.
oh yeah, so
I was like,
cringe.
oh, this looks
What's it?
terrible.
Oh, when they're like form and they're like in the gym. When I was watching the Power Rangers episode 1, and they're in the gym and they're sucking on the meat, and then it's like, huh, 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 and I was just like, yo, even I can do better
Yeah,
than that now, guys.
cringe.
Even I would look a little bit
Yeah.
more slick.
And I was trying to watch it. I was like, I'm looking at their uniforms. I'm like, bro, those fits look terrible. It was just, but Beetleborgs, man. Beetleborgs is when I have kids, I'm going to introduce them to Beetleborgs. I'm just going. I feel like I owe it to them.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, Spider Man, Deadpool, Gambit. Those have always been my people. I love Killmonger. Uh, I love
yeah,
Killmonger. I
cool
love the
character.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I watched that new movie, dope movie. Trying to,
I started watching it.
it's
I'm
good.
in it.
Trying to think, man. But yeah, man. Then of course, like I growing up with like X-Men around the house. Growing up, it was Wolverine was everywhere, and Juggernaut and Beast. It's pretty much all the women. And then what's the girl Jean Grey? Jean Grey is essentially the same as Wanda Maximoff. Jean Grey, she becomes I
Yeah,
think Phoenix in like the X Men,
the
but she
Phoenix.
the
Yeah,
Red
the
Phoenix,
Red
but she's the
Phoenix.
same. She's
Yeah.
she's basically Wanda. She was chilling, she was fine. Y'all put her through some stuff. She woke up. She was like, "All right, I'm done," and tears up everything. Even Professor X can't.
And
He's
boom.
like, I can't even stop her now. So yeah,
No,
those are mine, man. Before we get out of here, though,
no, we were
before we get
gifted.
out of here,
We were gifted with some awesome characters. Well, my
no,
bad.
no, no,
Yeah,
you
we can
good.
get out of here.
Before we get out of here, just want to get to this last one, man. So we got through some superheroes. If you had to pick one, your favorite superhero movie that you can actually like, because I'm very iffy when it comes to watching a movie over that I've already seen before. I just don't. I just not a big fan of it. But what is like a superhero movie or anti-hero movie, whatever kind of superhero-ish movie that you could watch over and over. Let's just say if you were stuck on a deserted island and they were like, "We'll come and pick you up, but you got to watch the same movie. You ain't got to watch it every day, but you got to watch the same movie. I don't know for a year or whatever. What movie could you watch over and over and over? Mm-hmm.
Same movie over
Yeah.
and over again.
If you had to choose a movie,
Sure. So for me, it would have to be. I I like the. Oh, this is a tough one. You got me here. You got me here because I like watching bits of it, but the feel good factor I get from the movie. Um, it sounds weird, but the first Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield.
you like the Andrew
It
Garfield
was.
ones?
It was. I know it's terrible. I liked him. I liked how Emma Stone was
Mm-hmm.
part of it as well. I felt the character casting was a bit there was going in the right direction, but that was just because I enjoyed it, and it was probably when I was a bit more mature to understand better things. But no, I'm going to scratch that. I'm going to retract that answer. It has to be Black
Okay,
Panther,
one or two.
and it has to be Black Panther. Big
Yeah. Okay.
one. It has to be Black Panther 1. Yes, it's going to sound odd, but I wasn't the whole play on it, and the way they were pushing things, and the way they pushed the agenda on the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. Being from South Africa, being part of that not being part of the movement, but being witness
Mm-hmm.
to that movement, being witness to the whole thing, to be in a cinema on opening night,
Mm-hmm.
dressed up. So many people coming in like tribal clothing in South Africa. It was a huge night at Monte Casino, one of the big places in South Africa. Sitting in there and them cheering a movie was like I was just in some, and I can watch it again. The whole interaction with Killmonger and King Chikala, or Chinkala, I don't know if I say
T'Challa.
that correctly, but like just Black
Yeah.
T'Challa, yes, sorry, and Black Panther and Killmonger, and that whole journey, that whole thing. And then obviously one of my favorite characters, he's not my favorite superhero, but what is his name? The Snow Mountain King,
Uh, M'Baku.
Mbaku. Oh, I love him in the movie. He's fantastic in the movie. He's a hilarious character, and he's, for me, he's the one that carried Black
Yeah.
Panther 2. He didn't appear a lot in it, but his actions and his little snippets in Black Panther 2
Right.
saved that movie. But Black Panther original, that the cast 100%, storyline 100%, the feel good factor, the witnessing people that South Africa and Africa had a
Right.
superhero, and for that was
Yeah.
related,
And
So
my pick isn't Black Panther, but I 100% respect it. I when it came out here, man, and just the amount of kids, honestly, I think it was just that having a black superhero, it just it spoke a lot of
yeah,
volumes, and then just seeing kids, and at least back in the US, it wasn't even like, oh, it's just all these black kids. It was kids everywhere of all colors. It just like kind of represented something that just wasn't
everywhere,
your
everyone looking and going,
staple white
"I
guy.
want that."
And everyone had the mask. For
Yeah.
about 2 years after that movie, everyone was just throwing that up. I never did it because I was never a big fan of it. But yeah, side note, Daniel did that in front of me at, where did we go see? Black Panther.
We saw Black Panther, and I went Black Panther 2. We saw it in the movie house,
Did we?
and yeah, it was in the beginning of Black Panther 2. It was the thing that they did for
Oh yeah.
Chadwick.
The
They had that little moment, and at the end of it, I went like this, and you and Olivia are like, "What is this guy doing? What is he doing?" The judgment and the resentment was like, "What is he
But
doing?" And I was going, "Yeah, I feel it." I was just like, "Yes."
as far as my movie, man, and as you were talking, I'm thinking, and I want to say the new Spider-Mans with Miles Morales, the animated ones. I can watch them
Oh
over and
yeah,
over, and that's like a new thing, but just like they did that animated movie right. The cinematography, the graphics, even the
so
second one that
good.
just came out, or was that the third one? This is
There's a second one, the
across the
across the
multiverse.
multiverse.
So those, that's not my choice, but those I can watch over and over. As much as I hate Batman, I can
So good.
watch. It's an old Batman movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger was the Freeze. I can
Oh
watch.
no,
Hey,
Nick.
as much as I can't
No.
stand Batman,
With
short. Hey,
with
that was my jam, man. Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah,
Poison
yeah, yeah.
Ivy
And
and
Riddler
Freeze,
and
and then
Riddler.
Robin and Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey is a Riddler, bro. I
Uh,
feel like it was genius.
that was the only good thing. Like the rest of those actors were god awful. It was terrible. What are you doing? What is his name? Oh, he was in. It's the same. No, was it George Clooney
Yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
Batman?
But
Oh,
see, I like. But here's the thing: I like that for the villains. I don't like Batman. I'm not a big fan of Batman.
fair enough. Okay, I get that.
Freeze was
Freeze
cool.
was a cool
Jim
villain.
Carrey's
Freeze was a
Riddler
cool
was
villain. I
cool.
get that. Yeah.
What was the other dude that was played Penguin? Penguin looks retarded, but he was cool. I don't know if I can even say that no more. Penguin was cool, you know. But last point, my favorite movie, and I feel like he doesn't get the respect that he deserves. Blade, Blade, the first Blade, Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
Marvel did Wesley Snipes wrong. Wesley Snipes should have kicked off the Marvel universe with the Blade. Blade, have you ever seen the first Blade? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched all
Blade,
three.
I was iffy when Ryan Reynolds got into it, but Blade was, Wesley Snipes coming in there, dropping bodies on vampires. throwing them in the sun. Like
Yeah.
Blade, that was
The
yeah.
original OG. The original
Blade.
OG
Oh,
of Marvel.
and just random. Do you remember Spawn? Spawn.
Yeah,
What
old.
was it?
Really
Michael
old.
Michael Jai
Yeah,
White, I
Spawn.
think was Spawn. And Spawn.
I don't know who played him, but I
My
remember
dad was
watching
a
it.
diehard Spawn fan, man. And the only gripe that I have with China is China. The whole time we were there, I was shipping things away, getting things shipped in. Never had a single problem. You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I remember the
Manga
story.
gave me
Yeah.
this Spawn action figure that was in the box, covered in dust, hadn't been opened. I think this is like 96. I don't know if it was worth like thousands, but it was worth more than what they bought it for.
Worth a penny.
And
Worth a pretty
and
penny.
Mung gave it
Pretty
to
penny for
me, and
sure.
I'm like, it was Spawn. I'm like, I'm sending this to my dad. My dad is a diehard Spawn fan. He's gonna go crazy. In that box, it was that. I bought a little wooden game for one of my other friends because it was his birthday. Some other stuff that's all fine, but it was that scarf, and it was. I went to the underground market, bought this little scarf for my grandmother. Now it was like a Louis Vuitton or something scarf. Clearly wasn't real. Clearly wasn't real. But it was like it even looked fake. It felt fake. So it wasn't like I was trying to sell it. It was just I had all this other stuff in this scarf, and I sent that over to the U.S. It got it got down to Shenzhen, and I get an email. They're like, "Oh yeah, your stuff has been confiscated." So I'm like, "What? Like, what do you mean?" I'm thinking, like, what did I have in there? And they were like, "It's because of the scarf that they confiscated the package." So I was like, "Okay, fine, whatever. Take the packet, take the scarf out, burn it, whatever. Send the rest of the stuff." Oh, we can't send it because it had the scarf in it. I'm like, okay, well, I even asked them, how much can I pay you to send it back to me? Like, I'll take it myself. They never sent it back. I even got Mung to call them, and he was like, they not hearing it. Confiscated my whole entire package because of that one F.
Because of one fake
Oh,
scarf.
that was, that was, and that was towards the end of my time being in China.
I remember that. I
I
remember that.
That was the time it made me feel like when I first got to China and I hated China. It was that moment where I was like, I could go down there and fight one of y'all because that really got under my skin. Really got under my skin.
I feel
Man,
you. I feel your
still
pain.
never seen that. Still never got that back. Oh, that's such bullshit.
All right, so we're gonna end episode 5, but we're gonna end episode 5 with a good old dad joke. Have you
I
got one?
do.
Have you
Hold on.
got one?
You go ahead and do yours. You go ahead and do yours.
Cool. All right. All right. So we're gonna have to do this a bit better. I mean, I was playing around with sounds, so I've got a little few
Oh
tricks up my
God.
sleeve because we got a shout out to Riverside. Riverside is the platform we're using. Thank you very much because they're pretty cool. So we can start off with a bit of a listen. I think this is going to happen. I don't know. Let's see if I can do it going live with the media sound. Let's see if you can hear it. Can you hear the? Let's hear it. We're going to play around with it. 2 seconds.
Oh God. How'd you even get this? Yeah. How'd you even get
Did you
that
hear
on
it?
there?
Did you hear it?
Is this on the media?
It's a
You've
media.
been
There's a
on
media
playing
little
around.
button.
I've been
Yeah, it's a little
editing. You've been
media
up there
button.
playing around.
And then and then you can do a little bit of this. So it could be cool. Could be cool. No, I'm kidding. We don't have to use that. But yeah, so dad joke. I've got the dad joke here, so I'm going to read it out here. So first of all, my girlfriend broke up with me when she found out I had 9 toes. She was lactose intolerant. I gotta laugh, people. I gotta laugh.
Say it again. She was lactose intolerant.
Yeah, lactose intolerant.
Man. That is okay. Mine is terrible though. If you'd like to hear it.
Yes, please. For the viewers.
It's terrible. Where do Italian gangsters live? In the spaghetto.
That's a new low for you, Nick.
I'm trying to go deep, I'm trying to dive, man.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe to our channel. We will soon have Spotify, YouTube, Instagram. Follow us, like us.
By the time y'all hear this,
laughter,
man, our Spotify and stuff will be up, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Just subscribe.
Just subscribe.
Yeah.
We need some subscribers. We need some love.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man. Good episode. Great episode. Hope you all having a lovely evening or morning or wherever you at whenever you listen to it. Stay great. Wrap it up. Be safe. All right, man. Peace.
Cheers, guys.